Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville Jaguars Week 13 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation in terms of various data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Colts and the Jaguars. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data is essentially the basics. It's the ABCs. It's all the information that is majorly important to winning football games on offense, defense, and special teams. So just a general overview of all that stuff. And based on all that data, based on all that information, the Jaguars are significantly favored in this game. It is important to note, though, that they were also significantly favored against the Arizona Cardinals, and then, stuff happened. But let's get into some reasons why. So the reasons why the Jaguars are favored in this game, firstly, on offense, the Jaguars have the better sack percentage, so they don't allow as many sacks. They also have the better offensive score percentage, which, of course, is the ability to score on every single offensive drive. The Jaguars have about an average offense, but the Colts don't have average offense. So that's why the Jaguars are favored in that particular aspect. The Colts do have better turnover percentage, so the Colts don't turn over the football as much as the Jaguars do. But overall, the offensive data does kind of favor the Jaguars more than the Colts when it comes to offense. When it comes to defense, though, as I keep telling you guys, Jaguars have the best defense in the NFL. They have a tremendous defensive offensive score percentage, which is basically their ability to prevent points. They have a really good turnover ratio in terms of the ability to force turnovers. Very good sack percentage, so they sack the quarterback a ton, of course. And when you look at interception stuff, they also get a lot of interceptions. So the Jaguars defense, of course, is by far the biggest strength of the Jaguars. If their offense could just keep up, things would be much better for this team. But of course, you can't have everything. You can't have everything, guys. Now, when you get to special teams data, punt return yardage favors the Jaguars. Kick return yardage favors the Jaguars as well. Defensive punt return yardage, defensive kick return yardage, and even field goal percentage favors the Colts. Punting average favors the Colts. So I would honestly give the special teams to the Colts. The one thing that the Colts have been able to do well this year is special teams. So take that however you want to take it. It is something praiseworthy. It is something to be happy about. But that's definitely the only area where the Colts have... The only phase of football that the Colts have actually been better than certain teams at this entire season has been special teams. So again, deal with that how you want to deal with it. But overall, again, the general data, the general feel of this game is the Jaguars' victory. The Jaguars have the better offense. They obviously have the better defense, and I think those are kind of the main tenets to kind of keep track of. Now, when you get to some other sort of data points, so when we look at down and distance data or micro data for this game between the Colts offense and the Jaguars defense, when it comes to completion percentage data, the Jaguars are favored on second and third down. So this is definitely an area where things are going to kind of get interesting because of that fact. Then, of course, we look at the Jaguars offense versus the Colts defense, where the Colts are favored on first, second, and third down. So the Colts might actually have some success on defense against this team because of just how poor the Jaguars have been playing. Then, of course, you look at the Colts offense versus Jaguars defense when it comes to rushing downs. So this is basically the ability to get first downs in various downs and distances. This has nothing to do with the yardage that you've been able to generate on with the run. It doesn't have anything to do with explosive plays. It just has to do with if it is first and 10, the teams that are more likely to get first downs in those situations with the run are going to score higher. That's all this really deals with. And it is a little bit more important than you think when you look at the overall data from that picture. And also kind of looking at matchups. So But in this particular area, I would say it's actually pretty evenly matched. Second down situations is definitely pretty even. First down more so favors the Jaguars defense, and third down more so favors the Colts. So I would say this is actually going to be kind of an interesting matchup to kind of see if the Colts have success on third down. If they don't have success on third down, then I don't think the Colts will have much success at all in this game. But rushing defense has been somewhat of a issue for the Jaguars in terms of certain situations this year. Then, of course, you get to the rushing down, basically the rushing data for the Jaguars offense versus the Colts defense. In this particular area, the Colts are favored on first, second, and third down. So I think the Colts defense should do well in terms of preventing first downs from happening with the run. And then, of course, you get to passing downs, Colts offense versus Jaguars defense. And when you look at this data, pretty clearly, Jaguars are favored on first, second, and third down. This is gonna be a bloodbath, people. This is not gonna end well. Then, of course, you look at passing data for the Jaguars offense versus the Colts defense. In this particular area, the Colts are favored on second and third down. So definitely, those are the kind of the big things there for this game. Then, of course, you get to sack rate between the Colts offense and the Jaguars defense. And again, guys, I don't know how I have to keep reiterating. The Jaguars are just gangster. They're just amazing when it comes to their ability to sack the quarterback. First, second, third down. Just amazing. So definitely an area where I think the Jaguars will probably get some sacks this week. Then, of course, you get to the sack rate for the Jaguars offense versus the Colts defense. And this is kind of the opposite, where the Jaguars are really good at preventing sacks and the Colts are not very good in terms of creating sacks. So definitely kind of more so favors the Jaguars in this sense. Then, of course, you get to interception ratio between the Colts offense and the Jaguars defense, where the Jaguars are favored on first, second, and third down. So the Jaguars, I think, will probably, even though the Colts don't turn the football over that much, I think the Jaguars might be able to force a couple picks in this game. And then finally, you get to the Jaguars offense versus Colts defense, where the Jaguars are favored on first and third down. So definitely, this is kind of where things kind of look like here when based on all this data. So, overall, how do I feel about this game? What are my general feelings about this game? Well, I think it's a Jacksonville Jaguars victory. Last week, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you do this to me, Jaguars. Why you do this to me? Like, I understand you're not a perfect team. I understand you have Blake Bortles. I get that. But I just wish you would just, help me help you, right? Help me help you. So, this week in particular, I still feel good about the Jaguars. I think they're going to get the dub. But at the same time, I hope that this isn't a downward spiral trend. Because the Jaguars are definitely a very shaky team on offense. They've gotten progressively worse on offense as the season has continued, which is never a good sign. Some of that's because of injuries. Some of that is because of a lot of other stuff. But I would just say that those were just my general kind of concerns with the Jaguars. Is I really, really like what they're doing on defense. I think their defense is fantastic. Like I said, it's been the best defense in the NFL up to this point when you just look at everything from a objective standpoint. But that offense just ain't getting it done. So overall, I'm going to go Jaguars here. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.